Hi everyone, it's Dr. Bowman from Cooking with Dr. B, and I am so excited. I want to share with you that I just received my delivery of heirloom beans and legumes from Rancho Gordo, so I'm very excited. Rancho Gordo just does heirloom beans, and heirloom beans are so much more flavorful and so much more exciting. They have deeper flavor characteristics. You might find that you stopped eating beans because you opened a can that you got from the store at one point, and those beans are in general older, maybe 3 to 5 years old. These beans are fresher and newer because the crops, they want to turn them over more quickly. They'll seed themselves and then they'll need to grow again. So heirloom beans are also called heirloom because these are generations of beans that have been handed down through generations. These farmers are farming these beans. The other thing about heirloom beans is that they're grown in general in soils that are more rich, and they're called genetically diverse. So it's pretty sad because if you've ever eaten that bean that really has no flavor, that's usually like a bean from the grocery store, and they've lost their genetic diversity. So it just becomes one bean and it's like no depth of flavor and nothing really exciting. And the sad part about heirloom beans is that there used to be about 350 species of them and varieties, and now there's about only half of that. So we are losing the genetic diversity. So these farmers are just passionate about and committed to keeping the genetic diversity of the bean and therefore preserving its flavor. And we talk about a lot of that in the Ayurvedic cultures about who grows the beans and how they're grown. So good soil, they are adapted at altitude, they're adapted to need less water sometimes, and different growing techniques. So just to show you a few things of what I got here, this is a garbanzo bean, which is also known as a chickpea. These and lentils are, actually all of these are just the legumes. They're very high in isoflavones and they're very good for hormone metabolism. So also these are very high in protein and fiber. So it's very good if you're on a vegetarian diet, or even if you're not and you want to not have so much meat in your diet but you still want to get the protein, then all of these are really good. So I started soaking some here. This is the black bean. It's called a midnight bean, and I don't know if you can kind of see the color of the water. It's just a beautiful deep purple. Then I got some California wild rice. So this is lower on the glycemic index than usual wild rice, and the flavor is so much more nutty and full. And then I have 2 different kinds of lentils because I do love cooking with lentils. I make all sorts of soups and salads with lentils in them. And again, high flavonoids, high anthocyanins. That's the deep red, rich color that you see in these foods. And they are very high in antioxidants, so they clean up those bad messes that we make. I'm very excited about this crimson popping corn. So this popcorn turns a beautiful color when popped. But you can see I've already started soaking the black beans. And then I also got some cinnamon that helps with glycemic index, and I love this flavor along with cumin, and we have some Mexican oregano as well. When we're cooking beans, we'll use onions, we'll use garlic. Anyways, super yummy, very excited. Stay tuned for some of the things that we make on the show. Bye.